let's explain why pap smears are so important. Because once you understand that, you'll see why this test, which I know is a little uncomfortable sometimes, is so vitally
It's
important.
not my favorite thing to do.
No, it wouldn't be mine either. I've never had one. But let me explain. Let's go inside of a woman like you and see what happens. So inside the pelvis, deep laying there's the uterus, then the cervix is right up here. You have virus. These viruses float by. That virus, the human papillomavirus, which can come from many sources, gets in there. When the virus penetrates through the cell wall, it actually goes in there. It makes them cancerous. See the cancer cells? They grow like sociopaths. They don't behave anymore. And they start to grow in places you don't want them. In fact, right here in the cervix, freeze this for a second, you start to get this large growth. There's the uterus, right? There's the bladder up there and the colon here. But this is the area where the cervix starts to, as a cancer, starts to cause problems. And it sticks to all these other organs, making it really hard to treat. With a pap smear, you take a few of these cells off before it turns into a cancerous growth that invades other tissues, and you're done. You're pretty much finished. So that's the first of the tests that I feel strongly about. And my recommendation for everybody, it's pretty straightforward, is that if you're 21 to 65 years of age, every 3 years you ought to have a pap smear. As long as it was normal the time before, it's a pretty simple routine to get into.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll make it a point.
Come forward. Thank you. We got one more to talk about right now, which is equally important, called mammography. Now, you've heard about a mammogram. You know they're important. There's a lot of hesitation about them, but I'm going to try to make it really, really vivid. These are two examples of what your breast might feel like.
Okay.
I want you to examine this breast and tell me if you feel anything.
I do. I feel a lump.
Lump. And then feel this one.
No, it feels normal, pretty normal to me.
Feels normal.
Yeah.
So go ahead and lift up that skin. This is the skin, by the way. These are two examples of what your breast might feel like. So go ahead and lift that up. And you got it. There's a little lump there, right?
Okay.
Early cancer. Self-detection, it works. It makes sense. Now look at mine. There was nothing wrong here, right?
Didn't feel anything, no.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. A mammogram can pick up these types of tumors, which are still small.
Okay.
And again, I think it's a pretty straightforward decision. The age at which you start, you can choose. I think a screening test by age 40 makes a lot of sense. That way you know your baseline. And
I'm
then,
a little late.
it's okay, in the early 40s.
Right.
And then certainly by age 50, you ought to be getting these regularly.
Okay.
Because that's when the payoff starts to really increase. Okay? Now, the fun one, the third test, colonoscopy.
Okay.
Come into my office. Have you ever worried about colon cancer?
I actually haven't, Dr. Oz. I always associate colon cancer and screenings with something that maybe men over 50 should get.
Yeah.
Not a woman in her 40s, early 40s.
Well, I built you a female colon. What do you think? It looks pretty, it's pink, it's big, it's wine. Let me show you why a colonoscopy is so important and dissuade you from believing it's a disease of men, because it's not. So, since you can't see inside the colon from outside the body, or even from outside the colon, you've got to get into it. So I'm going to be in colonoscope with you.
Okay.
We're dressing up, putting our money equipment on. All right.
Okay.
So I'll be the light source as we go in there, because it can get dark in the colon. I've been in there. Okay. All right. Come join me for my little voyage. All right. So when you get in the colon, first you'll notice it's pink on the outside, but the inside is really pink. Come on in here. And as you start to crawl through here, while we're looking, you gotta get dirty. Come on now.
Okay.
You notice the smooth walls, and you're looking for any kinds of early growth. So when you see something, say something to me. I'm looking around.
Oh, I see something up there on the left.
Yes, you do. Can you all see that? There it is. That little growth right there is a polyp. Let's get a little closer to it. Now, if you're having a colonoscopic exam, and remember, we're the colonoscope, as you get closer to it, you don't have to throw the towel in. Now that you've seen it, what the scope allows you to do is put the grow out here, grab it, and it pulls it off the wall. And as it pulls it off the wall, if it doesn't leave anything behind, you have cured the patient. You no longer have a problem. The polyp is gone, the colon is back to normal, everyone's happy. So you hold this, come on now.
Okay.
We're not with it. You can't go out, you gotta go in still.
Okay.
Now look at the whole colon. As you come around the corner, again, you're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
I see another thing.
What is that?
I don't know.
You know what that is? That's a poor prep. That's dinner from last night.
Oh.
All right, come on now. We gotta wash that
You go
away.
first.
No. You gotta help me. You take this thing and you wash it away and you throw it out. All right. And when you're done the whole thing, you pop yourself out and you are done. And you get a clean bill of health. seem like much, but the ability to get a little bit of a stalk like this and cut out the polyp has cured this person. So every single person over the age of 50 ought to have that colonoscopy done every 10 years. I've had them. They're not that bad.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.